Okay, so this position is white to move. And I want you guys to list me all the advantages for white, all the advantages for black, all the disadvantages for white, and all the disadvantages for black. That's how you should approach every single position. Okay, so basically, white has an advantage in queenside space. Check. Black has a potentially weak pawn on c7. Check. If black pushes the c7 pawn to c6 or c5, b takes c6, will leave black with a weak pawn on b6 and a hole on b5. True. This will be a backwards pawn and this will be a weak square. Absolutely true. Black's d5 pawn is weak since it can't be defended by another pawn. Kind of stemming from that previous... It's like math, you know? It's like when you have... What are they called again? When you do a proof. You have like smaller proofs that add up into a bigger proof. What are those called again? Dude, I used to do this so much. It's been such a long time. Theorems. Yeah, lemmas. Lemmas lead to theorems or something like that. Yeah, exactly. There's a lemma. So, the previous c5 move is a lemma. And basically, the theorem is that d5 is a weak pawn. Basically, can't be defended by another pawn. Oh, axioms are assumptions. Okay. Induction proof, yeah. Is math important for chess? No, but being good at chess helps a lot with math. But I don't know anything about that. Okay, so alright, black's only source of counterplays on the king side. His d6 bishop, e6 rook, e4 knight, and queen are all eyeing that area. Okay. Nice. So black's b7 bishop, which is defending d5, is playing purely defensive role. True. Black's dark squared bishop is giving firm support to the c7 pawn while also playing a key role in any kingside attack that he might drum up. True. White's big two bishops inactive. Okay, good stuff. So, this is the imbalance breakdown of the position. So, having all of that in mind, what would white play in this position? Alright, I'm seeing some bishop a3. Good stuff. Wow, I have a lot of really good chess players in my chat, apparently. Okay, apparently everybody here is really good at chess. Alright, so bishop a3. This is a good move. Because, oh, it's white to move here. But bishop a3 is a good move. Because you're swapping off your worst bishop for his best piece. I mean, your worst piece for your opponent's best piece, right? So it's trading off a bad bishop for a good bishop. Give yourself a clap for finding that move. Okay, so rook c8, bishop takes d6. Would you rather play rook takes or would you rather play c takes here? Both are kind of bad. What chapter are we on? We're still on the same chapter, I think. We haven't moved, really. We're still on part 1. Okay, so in the game, they went pawn takes. But if you go rook takes, then this is going to be an eternal weakness. Like this pawn on c7. Yeah. Alright, so rook takes d6 is possible. And then there's c takes d6 instead. So c takes d6 is what was played. Because as I said, if rook takes d6, c7 will always be a weakness. So rook c1. There's knight to d to f6 now. And then there's h3. Okay, so apparently Topalov is one of the greatest attacking players in the world. I did not remember that. But he plays h3 in order to... What is he trying to do here? As you can see, all this is not about concrete lines, but about clear positional weaknesses. I think he's not letting knight to g4 happen, or something like that. It's probably something to do with that. He doesn't want his opponent to have any kind of attack. Yeah. Thanks, Joffrey. You guys are doing amazing, too. You guys are doing absolutely awesome as well. Hey, only one Nemo. Is the chess game first Harry Potter film any good? I think they actually did a pretty good job on that. Pretty sure they did. Alright, rook e7. He wants to go rook to c7. So, queen b3. H6, I'm not entirely sure what that's for. Okay, rook takes c8, queen takes c8, rook c1, rook c7, rook takes c7, queen takes c7, and then queen to c2. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, Topalov had this to say in regard to the position. There is off the exchange of queens. Can chase away the knight on e4, transfer my bishop to b3, and sooner or later I'll exert pressure with 2 pawns on d5 and push my kingside pawns. Wowie! Okay, so queen c2. He will chase away black's advanced knight by f2, f3. Okay, so I think basically what he's trying to do here is go for like the weak pawns. I think that's always like an idea. Just win and stress less. Exactly. There are actually some people in this world who just don't stress. It's crazy. Human brains are all different. Super cool. Yeah, true to true. Okay, queen e7. Basically, black doesn't want to go into the endgame, right? Because we talked about this earlier. What about black's straw knight? You try to kick it out. But basically, we talked about this earlier. If queen straights come up, then it's beneficial for white because he's the one that doesn't have the weak pawns. So, I think everyone stresses, but to very different amounts. But I do agree, everybody stresses. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Some of the best things that used to get me to calm down was apply a good face mask. Like, actually, applying a good face mask, just going to the bath, putting a bath bomb in, and then putting on a face mask and just lying there. Like, I know this is like probably a more girly thing, but it's something that I genuinely used to do. Now I'm a little bit lazier and I'm a little bit more rush on time, but I still take a lot of like baths. So taking a bath in actual years, yo, you should honestly try. We are sponsored by Ren currently, so you can consider looking at the Ren Evercalm Ultra Comforting Rescue Mask. But even just like putting a bath bomb into your bath and just like taking care of yourself, self-care, it actually de-stresses. Yeah. Exactly, Tim, exactly. So totally possible. But stress is not the worst thing. Yeah. Yep. Candles are fun. Candles are fun too. Queen e7, queen to c1. Okay, so we already control the c file, but now we also want to protect e3, and the idea once again is to kick out this knight from e4, remember? So after g6, knight to h2, king to g7, h4. We're trying to gain kingside space, another imbalance. Knight e8, f3, we finally kick out that knight, knight to f6, knight to f1, h5, knight to f4, knight to d7, queen to e1, knight to f8, queen to g3. We're threatening knight takes h5. And then, so he goes king to h6 in order to not lose that pawn on h5 straight away. But he goes knight takes h5 anyways, which is super cool. And this is lost. If king takes h5, this is lost because of queen f4. And there's this coming in. So, black is lost, but this knight takes h5 move is really interesting. So queen g8, f5, because had to stop queen to h8, which was checkmate. Knight g3 now, knight to g7. Remember, white's down a whole piece. Bishop takes f5, knight to g6. Bishop takes, king takes, knight takes h5. And you can't take with the king because this is checkmate. Wow, this is so nice. This is such a pretty checkmate. Okay, so now there's queen takes e3, king h2, queen e7 is a mistake, and now, okay, we'll just go through the rest of the game. Yeah. Chess is sometimes super pretty. Super pretty. Okay, so they just repeat a little bit. Okay, and then king g3. Yeah. Just sacrifice all your pieces and hope you get checkmate. That is the moral of the story indeed. Exactly. So you got 3 pawns here. No, this is actually a win. The pawns are super strong. h5, bishop d7, h6, king g8, king f4, bishop e8, king g5, king f7, h7, king g7, queen, queen, king takes, king f6, bishop takes b5, king e7, because if you take the bishop, then the pawn would promote, right? So bishop d3, f6, bishop g6, f7, bishop takes, king takes, and this is totally winning. Yeah, that bishop was useless until the end of the game. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.